You're now listening to episode 12. Always stay tuned, podcast, all of that stuff. Appreciate everyone that's listening to the podcast and listening on you or watching on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to go to the Spotify, Apple Podcast. Make sure you get all the notifications on there and all the social accounts as well, man. Cuz, man, what you saying? You good?
Yeah, man. As you know, obviously didn't record last week. It's been a busy few weeks still. But yeah, man. What are you saying?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know what I mean? It's one of them, innit? It's just counting down now. Christmas soon approach and all that. But yeah, man, I'm good. A busy week. This week's gone quick, actually. This week's been quick, man. I think more so because, you know, when your team loses in football, days just blend into one, innit? You get like a red fog, a red mist. So you just forget the day and then you roll on to the next one. Then your team loses again and then you get, do you know what I mean? So
It's long enough.
it's mad,
Yeah.
man. I'm in that critical period of like disowning Chelsea, man. I'm that close. You know where you was with United? Remember where you was like, I'm not going to the games. I'm not doing this. I'm at that point with Chelsea. Like, I
It's
swear.
had enough in it.
Nah.
Yeah,
Like
I hear that.
even to the point where I won't buy any merch. Like I won't buy. I'm not filling their pockets with my money. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not doing it.
Mm,
Like it's not happening, man. But apart from that, man, you know what I mean? I'm here. I'm out here, man. I'm out here
that's
active.
it. I'm alive.
Very much so, man. Very much so. But yeah, man, it's been a busy week, man. Do you know what? I haven't really been keeping like normally you know me already. I don't really follow mainstream news, but I do like to keep my ear to what's happening. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, there was one thing that it kind of came up on my let me find it actually. It came up on my social feed early this week, and you know when you kind of see it, like it was like a video of a
Mm.
man recording just a woman. So I clicked on the video and I was like, what is going on here? So then I sort of went in and done like a bit more research and found out that apparently there's a school in Islington where a pupil was punched multiple times, like to the point where he needed A&E treatment. He needed to go to hospital because obviously the
Oh,
teacher
well.
had basically punched him that much, and I think they tried to suspend the boy originally. Boy's only like 10 or something like that, and then they tried to then they basically the dad's outside the school confronting, I think it's the head teacher of the school about it and saying like
Mm.
like the teacher's still in the school and this and that, and how is he still there, how haven't you suspended him and all that. And it just made me start thinking like we really don't know what happens in these schools when we you know when you take our kids to school of a morning, we actually don't know what's
Yeah.
going on in those classrooms. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
That is a wild story, I'm not gonna lie. That is,
I'm trying to find it here now. One sec.
yeah. Because I can't think of too many of them stories happening when I was in school. Not as I feel like the school environment is, I don't want to say more hostile, but more confrontational.
What now or back then?
Now, if you think about post like getting hit with a cane days, I feel like both ways as well. Like students, like the one where the people tried to stab up the teacher. I think it was up north.
Yeah, you said that. You told me that one, and I didn't hear
Yeah,
about that. But that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I found an article now. So it says basically that the Metropolitan Police are investigating allegations that a member of staff at the Christ the King primary school, in Islington punched a 10-year-old, which resulted in the child needing to receive treatment at A&E. Then obviously Sky being Sky, they love a story. When an interviewed
Yeah.
the dad at his house, like the kid's dad. Yeah, it's mental, man. He said the teacher then dragged him to a confined space on the landing and started raining punches on him. He was trying to fend them off when the teachers came and pulled them off him. And then my son started crying.
And then he started crying afterwards, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
mad.
so I have so many questions. I'm gonna have to wait until this is resolved because the fact that it's in a primary school, a 10-year-old, and I know 10-year-olds can be bad and they can be rude and all of that stuff, but and look, I'm gonna be honest. I know that you can feel like you want to punch a 10-year-old, But as a teacher to do that, what is going on in your head, and why are you in that job, and how have you? I can only I don't know the circumstances. I can't think of any reason that would be excusable to punch a 10-year-old. But you never know. There could be something that is mitigating circumstance. You think, okay, the kid had a gun, so he had to punch him to save all the children. It's unlikely. But I'm just someone like that. You must have a history of behaving in that way. That cannot be a one-off, spontaneous act.
I'm just reading it here now. So apparently the child in question injured a member of staff in the playground, hit them several times, knocking off their glasses, and then pulled a clump of their hair out. Now, the dad's counteracted that by saying that this boy has never been in a fight in his life. He's not aggressive. And I hear what you're saying as well. There is, like, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, I see kids pissing around in the streets or in the shops or something. I think, if she's my child, I'd give you a good box in the face. Do you know what I mean? Old school, you can't do that in this day and age. But in a school environment, you're there to protect. Like, you take your kids to school thinking that they're going to be in a safe environment, that they're there to learn. Do you know what I mean? And kids are kids, man. And
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, I think, because don't forget, in my school there was one teacher, Mr. Singh, man, our science teacher. He slapped up some kid. You know, I remember in my brother's year. So I was always scared of Mr. Singh because my brother told me that he'd punched up, like proper punched him, and then he had a cane as well. He caned another child on the hand. Like, Mr. Singh was old school, man, and he kept his job as well. I don't know how they brushed it under the carpet sort of thing, but then that installed fear into other kids below my brother's year. Do you know what I mean? Because we knew Mr. Singh
keep
was
everyone in line.
Yeah, Mr. Singh was on job. He didn't care. He didn't listen. And the thing was, he was a good teacher. Like, he was a good teacher, and he was fun. Do you know what I mean? But when you cross the line with him, listen, it was long. It was long,
it was
man.
on, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's no reason to hit a child ever.
Yeah, I had a, I won't name the teacher, but because just out of respect, like they were great, but yeah, like sometimes if we'd be in class, a few of us would be misbehaving, they'll come and give us a clip round the ear. But we're talking about like late 90s, early 2000s. So for me, that was okay, and it was in a kind of like, yeah, we were being rude, and you know what I mean. So I'm not saying we should do that now, but the thing is with that, because I don't believe that personally the dad's version and probably the other version are the true versions. I imagine it's probably mix of both, given that that's quite a specific allegation. So, you know, okay, the kid's being aggressive, but as a teacher, I think once a year you learn de-escalation techniques, like for pause and
Because
that kind of
you
thing.
can't put your hands on someone else's child. It doesn't matter
No,
about.
but what
Do you know
what
what I mean?
what I mean is if they're, because I don't know how, you know, some of these 10-year-olds are big, and I don't know, they might have been attacking a teacher and they might have had grabbed their hair, but you're trained in how to
No, I know, to de-escalate or
yes, yeah,
to calm the
so
situation down and all that. But even if
yeah.
the kid's punching you up, I'm sorry, like, you have to hold the licks. I'm sorry. I know it sounds really bad, and no child should ever attack someone else either. So it's a two-way street thing. But
No, you just restrain. That's what you
there's
do.
a way of de-escalating and restraining, and like you said, there's things that are put in place. It's like working in a hospital or institution for vulnerable people or people with mental health issues. You can't just
Yeah,
react in that way. They might not even know what they're doing. That child could have behavioral issues that are underlying, or things that we don't
yeah,
even know. Do you know what I mean? So we can't. Like, it's a lot of speculation, but at the same time as well, you can't put your hands on, because if that was my child, even if my child was kicking you in the head, there's a way of dealing with my child whilst he's in school. If you want me, I'll deal with the punishment afterwards. You know what I mean? But there's a way of doing it. So
yeah.
I just
But
think it's mad.
he could be facing porridge though, no? For that kind of attack.
He'll get away with it. But the teacher,
Depending on what the teacher looked like, but that's
nah,
quite serious
they'll
though.
get away with it, man. They'll get away
You
with it.
think?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need, I need, I need to read it. I
Do
need
you
to
know
read
why?
it because, yeah.
Because of the pupil. Because of the pupil.
Okay,
Because of the
okay.
pupil.
I haven't seen.
And just looking at his dad, I know dad's got a fish tank in the living room. Trust me, They, he's getting away with it, man. The teacher's getting away with it. I'm sorry, because
Oh, fuck it out.
yeah. Nah, I'm just saying, like, it's a serious situation,
Yeah.
and it's something that I think must happen. Like, I was thinking when I read that and I watched the video, I was thinking,
Mm,
I know teachers and people like, you know, carers and not supply teachers, what they call like teaching assistants and all that, they have to be
yeah,
CRB checked, and they have to have like the correct level of vetting done. But there's
yeah.
nothing, I mean, and then it got me thinking about vetting and CRBs and all that. They don't mean anything really. You could be the most serial murderer or whatever and just never been caught, or you could have like a violent streak in you, but your CRB comes back clean. Do you know what I mean? So we're
Yeah.
putting a lot of trust in these people who have our kids, you know, 7 hours a day or whatever, probably longer sometimes, especially if they're in like a nursery school. We're putting a lot of trust. And some kids, remember, like, you know, if they're in a nursery school or they're just starting school, they're not even sometimes fully developed yet. So they can't really tell you everything, or they don't really
Mm,
understand everything, or they don't know wrong from right. So they might think the teacher slapping them is all right because maybe their mum does it or their dad does it to them. So they think, oh, well, it's an adult, so maybe they can do it as well. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's a lot, to me personally,
Yeah.
just made me wake up and think, right, like I can see why people homeschool a lot, or they, you know, that was a big thing, especially before COVID. It was a big thing where people were homeschooling a lot, and they didn't want to send their kids to school, or, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes kids come home and they're, do you know what I mean, they're a certain way, and maybe it's because the teachers are riling them up in school. We don't know.
You know, it could be. I think with the schools, possibly less so. I'm just thinking about the training that they go through. You know, even if you only have a check quite often, but excuse me, by the point that you kind of get there, you would have had loads of observations. You'd have been around enough people. I know that then depends on the culture. So if there's a culture of, oh, we'll just let it slide, or we just need, there's a lot of industries with professions like that where they're just looking at thinking we need a certain number of people to pass because we need the funding for next year, so we'll turn a blind eye. The nursery is the one because I've heard and obviously seen things as well. So that always worries me. But even in saying that, the big cases where mad things have happened are, I'd say, quite far and few between if you think of all of the nurseries up and down the country and whatever. And again, because there's more people around, I'd like to think that there'll be at least one person that would say that's not on. But I'm very aware. No, no, no. I can say for sure because of I don't know, certain exposure that I get to people in those environments. I know that there are people that don't agree with what's going on but can't say anything because they're threatened with losing their job or whatever. So the nurseries would scare me more than the schools. But either way, what you're saying is valid in that you just don't know sometimes, isn't it?
I know the nurseries are madness, and I know that firsthand because there was not even going to bait up the nursery, but there was a nursery that my kids used to go to, and one of the women left the nursery and got in touch with us
Yeah,
to say what was actually happening in the nursery. Do you know what I mean? And it was mad because she went out her way to contact us. Like, it wasn't like she knew I shared our number before or nothing like that or whatever.
had to track you down.
She physically went to make sure. She was like, and the way she'd done it was mad. She was like, "Oh, how's the kids and all that?" And then she just went on this mad tangent about what happens in there. The kids had shouted at the time as well. Like, my kids had like, some of the kids in there had dummies and shit like that. They would take the dummies off them, so they'd be crying for like an hour for the mad things, like torturing the kids, basically,
Yeah,
like mentally
yeah,
torturing them. And then like they'd say that they'd eaten certain foods, but then because obviously you get like an app now in this day and age, it's not like old school where you leave your kids all day. You get like an app now where it tells you what they've done and all that. And then like there'd be like an app where it shows what they've had, and then she used to say, no, they never had that. They'd give them like toast or something, but they'd make out that they had a big meal. Do you know what I mean? And I'm
yeah.
like,
That's quite common though,
but that's
from what I
but the
understand.
amount you're paying for these things, man,
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. But going back to the school thing, I'd like to think my kids are 10 when they're 10. they'd come home straight away. In fact, to be fair, kids this day and age, you got mobiles at that age, so you might have to just ring me, little speed dial thing. I'm straight to school.
It's, it's
Straight at
over
the
there,
school.
boy.
I'm listen. It's one thing I don't mess around with. You know this already, but it's one thing I don't mess
Yeah,
around with when it comes to kids, and that is, you can't put your hands on my kids, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be at the school straight. I'll be at the school
yeah,
straight away.
yeah.
So first thing I'm doing, man, it's crazy, man. But I hope they resolve that, because I think, like I said, we're joking around slightly about the topic, but we don't know if that kid's been traumatized now by that.
Most oh,
Do you know what I mean?
that kid, the other kids, it's messy, but yeah, I can't pass too much judgment until I've read it. But
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
be surprised if there's anything in there. I'm thinking
Nah,
I'll
even
change my
you
mind.
can pass judgment though a little bit, because
You know what I mean, though?
even because a 10-year-old, like, you can't punch you multiple times. There's no excuse for that. It don't matter what the kid's done, whether he's punched a
Yeah,
girl in the
it's
face, whether
excessive.
it's excessive. That, like where you might, like you say, you get the clip round the ear, or you get a proper good shout off the teacher, or the teacher's in your face, or they drag you up or drapes you up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay, I understand that, but to physically put your hands on someone multiple times, like you're Ricky Hatton, nah, that's
yeah,
a
man.
certain
That's
line
mad.
that's a bit different for me. So yeah, I get what you're saying. No, you need to read the full thing before you apply a bit of context and whatever else. But
Mm,
the kid could have done anything. He could have burnt down the whole school. You still not. You can't put your hands on my child. I'm sorry. It's just
yeah,
how it
yeah.
goes, man. That's just how it goes. But yeah, man. Hopefully they resolve that. They resolved that. Speaking of resolving, they resolved Rockstar. Resolved.
Mm,
I say the
there
resolved,
is.
but we've got to wait another year for this.
No, that'll come out in October 2025. All their games come out in October. I was having this
Yeah,
conversation the
it's
other
another
day.
year,
Yeah,
cuz it's only 2024 next year.
yeah, no. So I think it'll be at least a year and a half.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant it's going to come out earlier. No, it'll be.
No, 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 no. That will be. We're talking closer to 2 years than a
Yeah,
year.
yeah. I
But
think so. I think you're right.
this is what they do. Um, so have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And for anyone
Yeah,
who doesn't know what we're talking about the new trailer for the Grand Theft Auto game that's coming out.
six,
Trailer.
baby.
Yeah, man. GTA 6 looks good. Can't lie. Yeah, I was impressed with it. I can't lie, man. It made me. Do you know what it made me want to do? It made me want to go and get a gaming PC. I'm not even gonna lie, because I think that was all shot in 4K. What they showed us was like the 4K. Do you know what I mean? Upscaled version of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
game, and I know my Xbox can do that, and I think PlayStation 5s can like handle that. I
yeah,
think the new
yeah,
Spider-Man came out, and I think that's you can play that in like 4K as well. But
yeah.
yeah, man. It's what's your thoughts on it? Because it's looking good, man.
Yeah, it looks sick. Like, so I didn't play number five,
I can't believe that.
and no, the reason for that one was I know it's been out
No, I
for
remember you
11
saying the
years,
timing.
but yeah, just time, and also I think what I struggled with number five, because I'm gonna play it before number four comes out, but
Number 6.
sorry, yeah, sorry, I'm
Yeah,
getting them all confused. I'm gonna play number five before number six comes
yeah, yeah,
out,
yeah.
but I did struggle with there's so many features to the game. I was thinking I need to. It's kind of like if you played Football Manager 2005 and then you're gonna go back and play Football Manager like
2001.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it just there's so many new little niche things. I'm like, I need to actually sit down and figure out. I know that the general concept is the same, but there's so many features to it. So that does look sick. I think as a game it looks like it's gonna be sick. But I know there was some I'm gonna call them sensitive people because I don't know what their problem is, but there's some people that ain't really they feel like the game is too woke, or I know there's some more like famous figures that are saying that like
In what
the
way?
dickhead that
What do you
owns
mean?
X,
All right.
there's a female character, and what was the other thing? I think because it tackle some of it is going to tackle societal issues as well. So
Right.
that's what I mean. Like they're saying it's too woke, like this too, and it's like, why the fuck did you watch the trailer? Then just fuck off. But I don't know if people are being quite sensitive or people have a right to say, you know, yeah. like it is a bit too. It's a game, so it shouldn't get involved in that. It should just be about whatever, whatever.
I didn't even know any of that, but I
Yeah,
think for me personally, like having a female character in there doesn't mean anything because Tomb Raider, Resident Evil,
that's the
like
thing.
there's been female characters from way back. Streets of Rage, like what are we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So I don't understand that bit, but I think I think it's just how society is. Why would you not include that in the
Mm,
game? Why would you want to make a game that you're trying to make like connect with certain audience of people not real? Do you know what I mean? That's just how the game is.
yeah,
That's just how it is. So for me, I don't know. I look to me look sick. I thought the trailer looked sick. The girl
yeah,
twerking
100.
on the car looked sick. The guy at the beach looked sick. Do you know they found that guy as well? The guy with the dreads. He's got like the grill in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's a thing I was watching on Twitter. I don't know if it's true, but there's a guy and he's like literally watching the trailer and it's him. It's him. The guy is literally based on him.
Yeah,
I'll have to send it
yeah,
you
yeah.
afterwards, but it's literally him. And he's like, that's me in the game. That's me. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think they probably, they must have, they must, I don't know
They've done
how.
their research.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. Because another video, someone's put like the trailer and then actual things happening that is literally the
I've
same as
seen that one.
even
Yeah,
the woman
yeah,
on the car. Everything is the same, and it's the way that it's done. You can tell that they modeled it off that. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Because it's wherever it's based, it's kind of based on Florida, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
From what I can tell. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's going to be great, and I know that they're saying the map is going to
three,
be
four
obviously.
times bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. So I think this is lining up to be the biggest selling game ever,
Oh, it will
and
be. It
by a
will be.
mile. And I don't think we'll be touched. And plus, my guess is that I don't reckon they'll bring the online feature on for a little bit. I think they might hold back off that so
Nah, I
people go
don't.
out. You think they're going to release it all? I think it's going to be too problematic for the server. Personally,
I think
you
they'll
think they're
do.
going to do it all at the same?
I think they will, man. Because this is what it is now. This is where, when GTA 5 came out,
Mm.
online gaming wasn't really where it is now.
No, it's still
Gaming,
big though. 2023 was 2013. It was
it was
huge.
not as big. That's 10 years ago, cuz it wasn't. It's not as big as now. There wasn't people
Not as big as now.
twitching and all that. Then not as many anyway. Trust me, it'll be online. It'll be online straight away. It will be. I'm not saying it will
Yeah, as
work.
long yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying it will
maybe yeah,
work,
a year and a half.
but it'll be on there because.
I thought they might hold it back because they obviously people can play the game and also it gives them time to fix all the bugs.
But they'll just,
It just
yeah, but it won't work. I'm not saying you'll get on. You probably won't get onto a server for days, weeks,
yeah,
but it'll be out there. And the map as well. There's just to put into perspective how big it is. I think there's 4 airports. Do you know what I mean?
that's,
So
that's
there'll be. I bet you any money that you can take a plane. Do you know, like now, can you even get taxis in this one?
yeah.
I think you can. I can't remember.
I don't know about five, but definitely in four.
4
And
you can in it. I think you can in this one. I can't even remember. I haven't played it for that
yeah,
long, but you'll be able to get like a plane that goes from one airport to the other, and da 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 da. But but yeah, no, it's looking good. I can see why it's going to take another year and a bit to come out because I think that can you imagine trying to develop a game that big, that complex, that detailed,
yeah.
all of that. I think you could be looking. I think you're right. It could even be 2026.
I think they'll be aiming for that October November period, and especially
Just
just
before
before
Christmas.
Christmas. I don't even think they need to do it for the sales, but it
Nah.
would make the most sense. And I know that the awards are usually, I'm sure they're towards the end of the year, and not that again they'll be that fussed, but I know they'll usually the big games tend to come out around that time anyway. That's why I know it's different with FIFA and FM because it's to do the seasons, but they don't have to release it. Then they could release it a bit later on. Do you know what I mean? But I think they usually time it for just before the end of the year. So no, that game that's going to be
Bestseller.
Yeah, I think that'll be the biggest selling game ever, and won't be touched. Because remember, that will be for the next 10 years as well.
That's it. This
So
is
it's on
why
like 2035 probably before the next one comes out, if they even bother to
I was
make one.
just about to say. I think at some point they're gonna have to stick with the game and then just continually update that game. And I feel like this could be that game because of the size of the map and whatever else.
Mm.
Or yeah, maybe you're right. We won't get another one for. I'm just gonna check something because the other day I checked, it was on 84 million. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
the
crazy.
views.
Yeah, the
It was
trailer itself,
122 yesterday.
126 million
Yeah, that's. Do you know how mad that is?
in 3 days.
That must be. I reckon that must be some kind of record, surely.
Oh yeah, 90-second
Yeah,
video. A 90-second video has got 120. I mean, that's easier because obviously the shorter the video, the likelihood is more people will watch it. But
yeah,
126 million views in 3 days for a 90-second video.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. There's someone else said as well. There's detail about the release date in the trailer. Someone found like clues in the trailer. I don't know who how these people find it,
Yeah.
but there's clues in there that say when it's gonna come out. So I need to rewatch the trailer. But then I was thinking on the back of that, imagine they done a London one again, because I think the London one was one of my favorite GTA's, but it was in the 60s or 70s, I think,
Yeah,
based in
yeah,
the 60s
yeah.
or 70s. So imagine they done like a getaway modern day version, but GTA.
Mm. Yeah, because I think wasn't that one of the ideas that they were considering putting it in London, but obviously
Yeah,
they decided not to. Because this is what I mean. This is why I don't think I'll stop the franchise. There's tons of places. There's places that they ain't even touched
like
that they could do.
Colombia would be a good one as well. Colombia,
It's-
but they could have done it. They could do it in this one. This is what I'm saying. They could
Yeah,
bring out the original Florida bit. Then you could probably, like the Sims, where the game's a game, but then
the
you
extension.
get expansions that go on top of that.
Mm,
You could get like a London expansion where you can fly to London, and then you could get like the Colombia one or Mexico. Do
mm,
you know what I mean? Do one in like France somewhere, because
no,
it
100%.
would be
Yeah, oh yeah.
crazy,
Can you
man.
imagine in Paris or something like
Yeah, it'd
that?
be
Jeez.
crazy. Brazil,
Mm.
you get to go to Brazil in one of them.
To the favelas.
The Velas, man. Do you know what I mean? Though it would be. I think for me personally, if they're smart, they could keep this going for another 20 years plus.
Indefinitely. Virtual
Uh,
reality. I don't know what consoles are going to look like in 20 years, but yeah, man, like, who knows, innit?
Crazy times, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely one game. That's one game. That Call of Duty and FIFA, the only games that I really look to when it comes to gaming now. I don't even check anything else out. It's literally Call
Mm-hmm.
of Duty. The new Warzone's out as well. Anyone who's into Call of Duty, new Warzone. So I downloaded that the other day. But yeah, man, they're the free games. That's it.
I'm trying to think if there's any others are buying that kind of rotation. I think all the games I've played are kind of done now anyway. Like they've kind of stopped. Or I
Yeah,
still buy the Mortal Kombat's, but
just
just
to have.
just a time filler. Yeah, yeah. Just
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
I'll play it. I think it was about £6. I bought, was it like 10, 11, and I think 12 was the latest one. So I just got them. They were cheap. So, but yeah, no, but yeah, definitely those three. And they're the most social games as well, whether talking about it or playing it. So yeah,
yeah.
I've got Actually, no, I'll say that for the Christmas episode. It's fine.
I hate when you do that, you know. Oh shit, man. But yeah. Speaking of Christmas, actually, because I was talking to someone the other day because they were like, "Oh, I'm going out for my Christmas food, Christmas Day."
Mm,
Not me,
mm,
my brethren. Like, "Oh, I'm going out for Christmas, like my dinner out." I was like, it's never really appealed to me doing that. Like, I
mm.
don't. One, I always think people are going to be disgruntled. Then I know they're getting triple pay or whatever to work Christmas Day, but man, drop my roast potatoes on the floor on purpose and shit like that.
Cause why is that the first place that your mind is going
Because I'm
to?
a realist, that's why. And then it got me going back. I was telling my brethren about this story about when I was in Birmingham years ago.
Mm,
I'd been on a night out, I think, or like after work, couple of drinks, whatever. And there was always this lovely pizza place. Lovely. Like, I mean, literally down the road from me, used to order from there all the time. Chicken and sweet corn, pizza, all the rest of that thing. And one day we went in there, me and my brethren, this one years ago, my other brethren went in there, and you could see in the, like when the counter, the food or whatever, and then in the back, obviously you had the kitchen bit.
Mm.
Cause no word of a lie, yeah. Stood there, I've ordered my food, and I've just like peeped round, like because you could kind of see into the kitchen, but you couldn't fully see in. So I kind of peeped round to see what was going on. Cause the man, yeah, there's a man in the
Yeah.
back washing his foot in the sink,
It's mad.
yeah,
It's wild.
next to the salad that he was chopping up. Yeah. From that day forward, I've always been mindful of where I eat, and this is why I never return
Cause,
food. I don't, if there's something wrong with my food, I don't send it back.
wait, where was this again?
Well, you're on the actual location.
No, the area,
Oh, this
the
is
city.
Birmingham. Birmingham. It's in Birmingham.
Uh,
Hockley, man. Hockley, Birmingham. Anyone knows Constitution Hill, you know whereabouts I'm talking about. But yeah, it was, and yeah, no shame. And he didn't even stop when he saw us watching him. He didn't stop. He just carried on washing
carried
his
on.
sweaty feet in the sink. But
Man normalize the situation.
it was crazy, cuz. But are you one of these people that like return food, or are you worried about? I know kind of that when we was in Barca, I kind of got a gauge that you're okay with majority of places.
When I'm abroad, I think it
It's
is what it
I
is,
was
but
gonna
I'll
say it is
still
what it is,
no. I check. I still, anyway. Like so, I'll still check
the
the
reviews.
reviews. Yeah, because you have to.
You can't really go off
In
that though,
I do. Do you know why? Because they can at least give you a hint. Because sometimes people like don't go there or wasn't feeling well the next day. So you can at least write places off anyway. But I'm a lot more fussy when I'm in London. One, because it's twice as expensive, but two, listen, if I'm leaving my yard, it's got to be worth it. So I'll check the hygiene rating. I'll go back, like I'll check a few reviews from a few years ago and now. Um, and it depends on where I'm going as well. If it's just like like an Italian or something, and I'm just getting, I don't know, like pizza or something like that, then it's fine. But if I'm getting like seafood or something, I need it needs to be 30, because yeah, that can finish you. And I've got a few stories, mostly to do with pizza places, or a few stories I've looked at them for. One place I just was like, yeah, I'm not eating from here, but I'll tell them in a minute.
it's for me. I've got like a select few places that I know, especially like it was like eating out. There's only a
Yeah,
select few places that I'll go. I'll never go anywhere new either. I'll have to someone else. I'll
like
have to
brand new or new to you,
just either both.
as in, so
Brand
if
new
they've just
establishment,
opened,
brand new
you wouldn't.
establishment, or brand new to me. I have someone has to go there first before I go there. So someone has to be the guinea pig. I'll send someone out there, go, or I'll wait for someone to go, oh yeah, I had food from here, it was all right, And it's only certain people I take the advice from as well, because some people, they'd eat shit off
They'll
the
firm it.
pavement. Yeah, they'll just eat shit off the
Yeah,
pavement if you gave it to them. So there's only certain people that I value their review and their response.
yeah.
But like for instance, there's a nice little Chinese that's opened up. Yeah, it looks nice anyway. I haven't been there. It's opened up not too far from me, but so it's where it is. I know they've got a pest issue around that area. So I'm thinking, if you got that place there, you must have mice in that place already. You must, because
Yeah.
the pest issue is
That's how
quite bad
they.
around there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it smells. We walk past, you can smell you smell. You think, oh yeah, it smells nice. But see what I'm saying? You gotta know these things, man. Some man are just walking in there, getting their chicken chow mein, and no, sir, man, not me, man. No, man. You know what I mean? I got one place that I go to for my and even then, when I'm eating the food, because we know that sometimes you hear stories about it's not always chicken in it. It could be other things that you're
Mm,
eating. So
mm.
even sometimes then I'm thinking, I bet I've had dog in my life before.
Oh yeah. We've all had mad meats from not even from restaurants, but supermarkets, isn't it? Like just KFC, like yeah, all these places,
Just think
man.
about but this makes me want to go slightly. And I know Jesse's fully there and you're kind of there, but it makes me want to go vegan,
Yeah,
because I think, like, more so because of the nastiness of other people, to be fair. and
Mm,
you don't know what they're feeding you, man. They don't know what they're feeding you. You don't know what like your food could taste banging, but the kitchen could be a mess. Do you know what I mean? And like
yeah.
cockroaches, rats, all that
So
shit.
you strike me as a person who, if for whatever reason you needed to try something new, you'd like it where the kitchen is open and in the actual
It's my
restaurant.
it's my best place. That's why I try and
Yeah.
choose places where they're cooking the food in front of you, or you can see into the kitchen where they're cooking it. This isn't a good example, but that's why I like Nando's, because Nando's you can see them physically cooking your food in front of you. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I go like, I'm not even trying to like pick on the Chinese takeaways, but sometimes you go in the Chinese takeaway, you can hear man sneezing in the back, burping, arguing, coughing because the peppers and the spices going down. Cuz,
Mm,
what's
it's
going
mad.
on?
Yeah,
What's
it's
going on, man?
mad.
I just want to eat my food in peace, man. And then when the food comes, I can't eat that now. Cause I just heard you coughing and spitting and this and that in the back. Nah, man.
So what about takeaway? Because these are where my stories are. But what about take not takeaway, or yeah, takeaway delivery?
There's only
Man's got a list of four
no, 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 no.
places.
I haven't, but I've recently changed my approach to deliveries because one, I don't do delivery that much anymore. I'll just go and collect it myself, so I can
Mm-mm.
scope out the place as well. If I'm not,
I
if do
knew it. I
you know what
knew
I
it.
mean? And the other place, there's two places around here that do takeaways, but they staple the bag together.
Mm,
Do you get what I'm saying? Because again, I know a delivery driver and he's had food out of people's food before while he's
mm.
delivering the food to them.
That's
So
man, I didn't even think of that.
yeah, man are taking chips and this and that with their dirty hands, and then they're giving you the food. Nah, man, nah. The bar's got to be sealed. So there's a couple of places, two places in Liverpool around by me that when they deliver the food, it comes like stapled up, like sealed up. So you'll know if they've tampered, unless they've got a stapler in the
Mm.
car. Do you know what I mean? Then you know that
Yeah, but even then, like you'd
you'd
see where
know.
the
You'd
original one, isn't it?
yeah, they've tampered with it, you'd know. So that's probably a crazy way to look at it, but I just got to be careful. Some man was shitting your food, spitting your burger just because it's cold and they're out delivering food, man. Some people are
Because I
weird,
feel like you're out there, you got enemies, boy, in the
Nah,
food
man, listen,
industry.
you've never seen the videos where like the man's spitting in people's burgers and then delivering it to them.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Nah, man, not me, man. I'm sorry. No, sir. What was your story anyway?
No, I've had a couple. So the Domino's one where I stopped. Even though I know I got it that time was in Liverpool, but there was one
I
time I
was
went
about to
there.
pull. I was about to pull you up. Then go on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, no, no. This was this would have been just before, just after. It was around that sort of time anyway. But when I went, they've been funny with me anyway, and I find that because it's obviously a franchise, but obviously where I live, my skin tone is not preferable in certain places. So anyway, I went there, ordered the pizza. Obviously, they're not wearing gloves, so I was like, I just hungry. I just wanted the pizza, and so I was like, and then the bit that drew the straw when I just walked out the shop, because I think I hadn't quite paid yet, and I see them, the dustpan and brush. So they were using it. So because they in Domino's they have the ingredients just
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
side.
Like the dough
So they
and
were
everything.
using it to get into the corner to sweep out the rest of the ingredients and put it on the pizza. But no, I think was I'd like to think anyway,
It
even
was
though this is
It was
mad,
a
it
dustpan for that reason.
was for that. But even that, it's like, how have you even cleaned that to make it suitable to be using it for? I was like, nah, like, and also it's just dumb. You can get you can get other brushes specifically for and it. So I just walked out. And then there was another time. This is years ago though, so I couldn't even bothered. But I'd been ordering from this always pizza, this pizza place for must have been about 5 or 6 years. But I just got delivery because it was bare cheap. Like you get a 15-inch pizza for like £4 and
That's where you went
garlic bread
wrong,
and
man. That's
delivery.
where you fucked up. That's where you
No,
fucked
it's
up.
nice. Like you should do it. So when I got a car, because I was thinking, oh, it's even cheaper to go and just pick it up, like £3 or something. So I went there. Because when I saw the place, I was like, okay. So if I ever get anything delivered now, I need to go and scope the yard first, and then say, okay, I've seen it, I can order. But the place was, I don't even know where to begin. It just, when you see somewhere and you think, is this a crack? Then what is
Yeah, this
what
is what
is
I'm
going
saying, man.
on here?
This is what I'm
Yeah,
saying, man. That's
Mad.
why I always say to people, like, your food could be amazing, but you don't know where it's been cooked. Because some of the
100.
best foods come out of the dirtiest kitchens. That's a fact. But can't be me, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I remember one year. Again, this is all my stories are from Birmingham, to be fair. But I remember one year, Broad Street. Anyone that knows Broad Street? There's obviously the top of Broad Street. There's always like food places up there, like chicken spots up there. Cause this one day, man, I had, and this is the times that I used to eat doner meat as well. So far, but I ain't had doner meat for years, years and years, like 20 years plus probably. And I had this doner meat, man. Oh my god, I thought I was dying. The next day, my belly was doing an absolute madness, and I mean, to the point where I was like, I might have to go A&E for this, because you know, you in that now I was in that much pain.
Yeah,
Like,
pain.
I'd
Yeah,
threw
I
up
know
so
that.
many times that like there was nothing to throw up, and I was in agony for like 2 days. I think that's the first time I ever had proper food poisoning. Because,
Yeah,
oh my god, even thinking about that now, how excruciating that pain was. And then I think that's when the thing started to trickle in my head about, yeah, the food might look and taste
the
nice,
food.
but you got to remember where you're eating it from. And
Yeah.
nah, man, and that's where it started for me, man. And sometimes even in like Subway, I see man like touching this, touching that,
Yeah, I had to stop. I had to stop.
but then even though they wear gloves, yeah, I'm like, nah, nah, no. And the knife, have you ever, if anyone that goes Subway, look at the knife that they're using to cut your sandwich with, your sub with. That knife ain't been cleaned for time, you know. Time. There's
They use it to slice everything, innit?
old food on that knife is cutting into your sandwich, you know. Next
You
time you're
know
in
that.
Subway, look at the knife. Anyone that goes there, look at the knife that they're cutting your sub with. You get a foot long, just look at the knife, because it ain't going to be clean. There's going to be old, moldy lettuce on there that's been on there for 3 days, and it's still going to be sat on there. And then if you're a vegan, you get the vegan option. They're cutting the same porky
Yeah.
stuff with that knife to with your vegan one. Trust me. Look,
No, that's why it's mad, because I know certain there's little telltale signs that certain places I'll go, and if you just need to get something quick, so I'll get a panini. But they're grilling the same, they're using the same thing that they use for like bacon and stuff. Because I had to stop doing it, because obviously I don't eat pork or beef or lamb or anything like that. And even like the taste, if there's like the essence or the oil,
just the
makes me feel
grease.
sick now when I have it. Yeah, so I have to check and just make sure they've got a separate one, or they put it in something. But going back to Subway, one of the reasons I stopped going, and this one telltale sign I have as well, is even if they're wearing their gloves, some of them they will still take like cash wearing the gloves, and I'm like, this is not making sense. But some of them, you see them, they'll have they'll either a different person will take your money, which is fine, or they'll be serving, or
They take the glove off.
they'll they'll take the glove off and they'll get a fresh glove,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen people put back on the same glove that they use, and it's like, okay, so obviously your standards are a bit wild right now.
It's not for me,
So
man. I'll never forget
yeah,
as well. There was a thing. I think this was in Liverpool actually. There was a thing where what they called health and the
the health inspector.
environmental health, or I think they're called.
Oh,
They went in, or health and safety inspector. Yeah, they went
mm,
into a KFC and they checked. This is why I never get cold drinks either. From like, if I go anywhere like that with the kids, I never get cold drinks like where they put ice in, because they checked the ice thing and they found human shit on the ice. Not you couldn't see it.
uh,
Now you couldn't see it, but they had
but they had
traces
the
of it when
little,
they checked it.
tested it.
They tested it. There was all over the food, everything, all over everywhere. They had flies in what's them thing? Not McFlurries, Crush'ems. They have
The
Crush'ems and
Prussians,
Crush'ems in KFC. They had
yeah,
dead flies in there that had been in there for time. In the top bit where obviously the ice cream comes in and da da da. Nah, man, this is what I'm trying to say. See all that McDonald's stuff now. It's very rare. That's like a last resort thing for me. And then when I say last resort, I'm talking, I might have to starve
nothing
here, you
else
know.
is open.
Yeah, I might have to
Yeah,
starve here because this is last resort. I had one the other week, and you know what? Because I couldn't even eat the burger. I had a couple of chips, and I just thought, why am I eating it? And
mm.
You just don't know, man. Some of these men are young, you know. They're like their first job.
Yeah,
You trusting a
yeah,
man with his first job to cook you a burger? Fuck that. Listen, fuck that, man. Are you mad? Man's just come out of school, yeah. And I'm not disrespecting McDonald's workers at all, but put it into a bit of perspective, man. The man's the old woman, whoever. They
you're
just come out of
trusting
school.
them to cook your food.
These men probably can't even turn on the oven, and we're trusting them to cook a burger. Put the burger in the fryer thing and the chips and that. And you can always tell when it's someone a dickhead as well, because the chips are always out in the bag. They're not even in the thing. They're just dashed into the bag. Do you get what I'm saying? Nah, man, move, man.
Hey,
Get out
listen,
of here.
listen, cause I got a story for you. So I can't remember if I told you this one. I don't think I have. When I was in Dominican, I
Oh,
was yeah, I know, bad start, innit? To be
yeah.
fair, the food there was nice, but there was a little cafe near where I was staying, or like restaurant. So 'cause obviously I was there for my 30th, so I just went to go have breakfast, and no, I went there the day before and I had a calzone. It was quite nice. I was like, okay. So I went there the next day to have some like birthday pancakes in the morning. Yeah, and I was eating the pancakes. I was just chilling. Obviously, I got no internet out there, so I think I was just listening to like music on. I think I had an iPod at the time, and eating about halfway through the pancakes, and I see a rat running around inside the shop by the food. I was like, oh, mad.
Listen, I'm sorry. If that,
But you know
go on.
what? I finished the pancakes because they were good.
Oh, and this is why, when we was in Barca, and I said it just before, I had that feeling that you kind of let them things slide past you. You're not really that bothered because you're there in the moment, innit?
I'll take the hit.
Yeah,
But
see, this is what I was saying to you about let me just go and grab a little one thing. In fact, that burger was horrible. I remember one night I went Burger King there in Barca. It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. I'll tell
oh
you that.
yeah,
But
was that at night time? Was
that
that the
was
time we
the
went in the
night
day?
one when
That
you
was the
went
night
you went
one.
on a mission to go and get the
Oh, to
thing.
the paella.
Yeah, the
That was
paella.
good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But then proves my point, man. You gotta be careful because you said the pancakes were banging, but you got rat droppings in and
Still
amongst it,
like,
man.
but
You
yeah,
you thought that was a
but a full
raisin. It was not a raisin. Them things there.
raisins and treacle. No,
Yeah, man.
it was a full size rat, not a dickhead rat. Like it was one of them rats where if I
Okay.
saw that in my home,
You leaving?
I'm outside your door, cuz saying, "Cuz, can I just stay here for the night while I sell where I'm living?"
Shit, man.
No, it was mad. But no, I was ill as well. That thing. So
I'm not
I don't know
surprised,
which
man. You
one
eating rat pancake? I'm not surprised, innit?
was done.
The
I remember
calzone, the rat zoni, man. What's going on?
no, it was mad. That was the whatever got me ill was I ate at a few places, but that's when I ended up going to
That we got
that
the
rave, that
rave
Coco
thing.
Bongo. But I ended up going on a full on I didn't eat, so I went on an empty stomach. I think I haven't told you any of these stories actually, I think, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you
when I
told me that one.
went
I think.
oh this one, yeah, when I went and they were doing it was unlimited
Yeah,
drinks.
yeah.
That was like in pint-sized cups. So yeah, that did not end well. Because I was ill
Is
and
that the
I'd
time when you
been
threw up
unwell.
as well? Is that the day you threw
Yeah,
up and
it was
then?
that. Yeah, it was that
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah. It's
Yeah, it
crazy,
was
man.
mad. Yeah, it was
Crazy.
mad.
But gotta learn from these mistakes, man. You haven't got a cast iron belly no more, man. You're 30 plus now. These
Never
things
did
you
mean to
can't
be
keep
30
doing. I
plus.
keep trying to say this to you, man. You can't keep doing this and risking playing Russian roulette with your belly. I told you that in Barca. I said I'm not playing Russian roulette. I'm sticking to the safe option. Remember that place that we went and it was remember I had the same thing for lunch and then I went back in the evening got the same thing. Remember, the spot I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the spot, man.
The place, the
The
spot.
the
Yeah,
spot, yeah,
it's 30.
yeah. And I always got the same chicken. Remember, got the little chicken with the little salad on the side. That was it, man.
Oh, yeah,
You
you
was
can't you
test
can't
you
go wrong
you
with margarita.
you tested the pizza. Yeah, you had a pizza there, innit?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
still here. I got my flight.
Yeah, man. Just
Just
about, man. Just about. But what are you saying about Christmas, man? You ready?
no, I haven't sent anybody anything. I haven't bought anything.
Then how
I've
you man
just
do that, man? Then how you man do that,
no.
man?
I told everyone it was a tough year this year, so you might just whatever's left
Man said
in the tea.
in the teapot pot fund, the kitty.
It might it might be the thing that you got me last year. You might find that under the tree wrapped up for you this year. There,
Hey,
you can just come round, have food, and if you don't want to come round, then you don't get no food, and you don't get your gift in it.
yeah, nah, you know what, this year I haven't even gone mad. You know, normally because years back in the past, I used to buy for everyone, man, and just like, and then sometimes I wouldn't see that person till, you know what I mean, April, May, June, and I thought, oh. And then not that I don't do it for this reason, but sometimes then that person doesn't even get you nothing either. I don't do it for that
Mm,
reason, but I just think
mm,
like we're both of age now. We don't really need to do this. And then some people, if they've got kids, I'll buy their kids stuff, and then I won't buy them. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm
yeah,
buying your kids, and then they don't buy me because I mean, you buy for my kids or whatever. But yeah, this year, man, I'm sorted, man. Everything is patterned this year. I'm happy, man.
yeah,
Just I mean, just gotta wrap the presents. The turkey's ordered. Everything's ready, man. Gotta collect that the 23rd, 24th. Yeah, man is happy this year. Do you know what though? I've been enjoying lately the Baileys, man. The Baileys have got
yeah.
me. Sainsbury's sucked me in quick when it came to that
The
Baileys.
£10.
The £10 offer, man. Man's been there and back 3 times.
I knew that would
Yeah,
be.
man, 3 times, man. I went there, and then the woman said, "Oh no, you can only get two at a time." I was like, "What? Are you mad?"
Came back.
I just can't. You know what I done? I just went to car, put them in the boot, and came back and got another two. I was like, "What are you talking about? I can't get more
You
than
know, I thought he was
three."
gonna say. I thought he was gonna say something like you went to the car, you took your jumper off, and then wanted a
Nah,
t-shirt.
man,
I
she
was
can't
like,
tell me.
no, that was my brother
She can't
still.
tell me nothing. There's two transactions. What's she talking about? I was like, because I said to her, "Oh, I'll just put two through, and then I'll put another two through." And she's like, "No,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. You can only it's two per customer." I was like, "Okay, cool." They can't tell me I can't come back in the shop straight after and buy another two. What the foolishness is that? Do you know what I mean?
How many bottles did you buy then?
So I brought four then. I brought one before that. I brought four now. Mrs. brought one. I didn't realize she's buying one the same day, so then we got another one. And then you
Yeah,
know what? She's been going to Aldi, man. You know Aldi do flavored Baileys, yeah,
yeah,
but it's like
yeah,
cheaper. It's like mad cheap. It's like £4 or £5, I think she said. And you get different flavored ones. Like they do
yeah,
an
yeah,
orange one, like a Terry's orange. They got a mint one, hazelnut, and a white chocolate, kind of with hint of white chocolate in the Baileys or something like
yeah,
that. But
yeah.
have you ever put Baileys in your coffee?
Hot chocolate.
Oh, it's hot chocolate. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
What's
yeah,
that like though? Because sure, because I always think Bailey's is quite sweet anyway, and then to add to the hot, does it do anything different? Would you rather not just have the Bailey's on its own, or is that in like the day? Do you do that in the day?
yeah. It's because it's in the day.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
even gonna lie. In the morning.
Yeah, I used to work with a guy, man. Shout out Will, man. He used to do that. He was the one who got me onto putting it in the coffee, like putting just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple of drops in your coffee, and then drinking it. But
Oh, mine's half and half, but is what it is. Yeah, yeah. Hey, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. It's midday somewhere, cuz.
boy, that's how we
Yeah,
doing it,
but
yeah.
at Christmas though, at
The man said
Christmas,
disclaimer, disclaimer.
and no, I put it in pancakes. I've used it to replace some of the milk.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Man. Oh, and another
Yeah,
thing as well. Anyone who's like on TikTok or them kind of things, you can make your own Baileys. It's easy.
yeah.
It's easy. You just need I'll have to send it to you, but you just literally need spice. Like I can't remember what spice it is. Yeah, it's just easy. It's just
What's
easy.
the what's the alcohol?
Brandy.
Ah,
Just a bit of brandy, not too much, and then well, it depends how strong you want it. But you put the brandy in, then you just mix it all together.
yeah,
You can either let it cool down or you just have it straight away. It's just, when you think about it, the concept of it, it's not rocket science, really. It's
yeah.
just a bit of spice, bit of milk, I suppose. Maybe some sort of milk. I don't know what goes in there, because I didn't watch the full video. But then just the brandy, it's just brandy, really. It's brandy.
True, true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to do that, but that might have to make a little appearance on
The link because I'm gonna
can
try it. I'm gonna try it.
get, get the ingredients in the morning and obviously make it for
Cook it up
11:59.
by
Yeah,
12 o'clock.
I'm ready.
Like what's his name out of Breaking Bad? Walter,
Oh, well,
Walter White, man. Walter White cooking up the Bailers. But yeah, man.
100.
Before we wrap up, man, let's just talk football. We can't not talk football, man. Really quickly.
I'm good. You okay?
I'm good, man. You know me already. I'm resigned to the fact
Nah,
that
yo,
Chelsea, Chelsea are just Chelsea now, innit? They're just Chelsea are just Chelsea. So
it is. But for me, I think a lot of us just need to come to the terms that yeah, like winning not going to be just winning bare unless you support City. Maybe Arsenal to an extent, because recently they have. But yeah, it's just going to be seasons where the team, well, it's gonna be a thick and thin thing, isn't it?
yeah, but even that game, what day was it? Wednesday. It's a game
Yeah.
Wednesday, yeah. So even based on that, on paper we should have beat you, but we didn't because of how poor we are.
I'm not sure. I thought it was quite evenly matched. No,
Not on paper. On paper,
I don't think either club has any like massively standout players apart from Fernandez.
yeah, but well, if you said
As
if you
in
said a midfield
the
of Fernandez and Caicedo or Amrabat and McTominay, I think I'll be picking Caicedo and Enzo over them,
yeah, those two. But I just mean,
or
uh,
Dallo, and then Reece James should have started at right back. But on paper, you taking Reece James over Dallo, or are you not?
yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah, I
mean?
am. But
So,
then United have a probably better keeper, better striker.
oh, I wouldn't go that far. I think they're both down in the pits. I
The
know
keepers.
he played. Yeah, I know that. You think Onana's a good goalkeeper?
He's made mistake. I'm not going to deny that, but
He's better than
uh,
Sanchez, but that don't mean that he's a good
that's
goalkeeper.
what I mean on paper. No, I think he's a good keeper. He's made mistakes, but he's also faced the most shots in the Prem. I'm not saying it's all of that, but if you're gonna face that many shots and you've got Maguire, the Chuckle brothers in front of you, I don't even want to call them by their names. You're gonna, yeah, eventually you're gonna make mistakes. That's why Allison occasionally will make mistakes because he'll face a number of shots. I'm not trying to compare the two defenses, but on paper, probably Chelsea are a bit better. But I just mean apart from the two centre mids in Chelsea, there's no standout where I think I'd
No,
definitely take that player over.
Cole,
Sure, you'd
Cole
probably take
Palmer. I
left back.
take Cole Palmer would work in any top club.
I've got not a gripe with Cole Palmer, but
He'd walk into
I think that
United's team. That's a given. He was at City, so you can say that he can play with one of the best managers, best teams
I
in
don't.
England.
Yeah, I think I don't think he walks into Man City or Liverpool's team and Arsenal. I'd
But
think
he's
probably.
played for City, so and he
Yeah, but
kept.
he doesn't walk. He doesn't walk into their team. I don't think he's better than who's. I'm trying to remember who they've got. Foden and
He's better than
who they
Grealish.
play. I think that's a big statement to make based on he's not played enough. I can't
He's better
ability
than
wise.
Grealish. He's better than Grealish. Ability
I
wise,
think
he's better than Grealish. He's better.
I'm
He
not
can.
sure.
Do you watch Grealish and watch one? He only uses one foot. Next time you watch Grealish play, just watch what he does. He does the same thing. Cuts in, uses one foot, but he doesn't use the other foot. Just watch him play.
No, no, no. I'm not the biggest fan of Grealish. I think he's good. He's not a £100 million player, but um, I just think there's a lot of hype around Cole Palmer, given this is hot like 3 months of a full season for him. If that
You
makes
don't you
sense,
don't
like he's
think
not.
how he's playing though is he's proven that he is of that quality.
I don't think he's proven that.
Okay, I don't
I
know.
think I think he I think he's demonstrated that for 3 months he can play at a level where in a struggling team he can be a standout performer.
Nah,
But
even at City though, remember the final? He scored in the final for them. I mean, I'm not saying because
which
he's
I
just,
know,
I'm not saying because he's just
which
a Chelsea player. I'm just saying it because I think he's got quality for his age and his ability. He's got quality.
yeah, he's got really good potential. I'm not. I just this whole thing when I see how people talk about him when I watch him play, I think he's good, but
But
I
what's the whole
you
thing
know
that you're referring to though?
pe- people talk about him like he's Bellingham, like he's at that
Nah,
level.
no
He's
one does
not.
that. Who does that? Who
I've
does
seen
that?
that. Like, he
I
has
need
to start for
evidence.
England.
I need
You know,
evidence.
he's no, no, on the Athletic. They talk about him like that. I've seen in even on Sky Sports or the BBC, on Twitter.
Nah,
Like,
no,
it's
I don't
just
think anyone's ever. I need to see the proof of that one. That's crazy. Whoever says that
no.
they don't know football. Whoever's saying that don't know football. But he's
No, but this
definitely.
what I mean. I
He
just
could walk
think the
into
hype.
United. He could walk into the Arsenal team. I'm not saying he's.
He doesn't walk into Arsenal for me.
You don't
I
think
don't,
so?
I wouldn't pick him over would he be Martinelli or Saka. Not for me.
You can play across the whole front. You know, not just a winger.
I wouldn't have him over Jesus, and I wouldn't have him over
You wouldn't have him
Trossard.
over Jesus.
No, 100%
You
not.
think Jesus
I
is? You
rate
think Jesus is good?
I rate Jesus. I think he's
Why?
not a great finisher, but he's an excellent player.
So what's he good at then?
He's, huh?
What's he good at then? If he's not
He's
a
good
good.
on the ball. He's good at making space. His
So
work ethic is incredible. There's no coincidence that he's gone to Arsenal and Arsenal were challenging for the league
nah,
last
don't
season on
put that
top of
on
the table.
Jesus. Don't put that on Jesus. That's not Jesus.
I don't think so. You think Arsenal do that without him?
He was injured for most of that season.
He
No,
wasn't injured for most of the season. He was
he was
injured
out
for
for a
like
good
three
chunk of the
months,
season. What? Come on, come on, come on. What are
for
we doing?
about a third.
A third of the season, and you're putting that on Jesus. That's why they would compete for the league last season.
I think you ask any Arsenal fan. I think they'll complain about his goal record, but
Come
he's
on.
like Firmino, like for Liverpool. He wasn't their best player, but they don't win.
Yeah,
They
but
don't do what they do without him.
they'd hitters in front of goal. So his role was to supply the hitter. Jesus is meant to be the hitter for Arsenal, no?
No, he's not.
Well,
What they 4 points? They're 4 points at the top
no,
of
no,
the
no.
league. What are you talking about?
Nah, I'm not talking. I'm not saying that Arsenal are not a good team. I'm not. That's a totally different conversation. What I'm saying is Jesus is in that team to do one thing. Is he not? What's his role in
No,
the
he's
team?
not. No, I don't.
So
I don't. I don't.
who's
I
meant to be
don't.
grabbing the goals for Arsenal then? And don't say multiple people. There's meant to be one person. Who's meant to be the
Well,
one?
you
Why
can't
did
ask
they
me the
bring him
question
in?
and tell me what I can't say.
Why did they bring him in? No, I'm asking you. Why did they bring him into the team initially?
They brought him in to play that central role, but whether
Okay,
he's there to be an out and out goal scorer, they need an out and out goal scorer. But
okay.
I don't think you can deny, and they need an out
I'm
and
not
out
saying
goal
he's
scorer
bad, by the
because
way. But go on.
yeah, but they need an out and out goal scorer because Man City have bent the rules and have unlimited excellent players and have Haaland. If they didn't have it, Arsenal would
Nah, they were
probably win
doing
the
all right
league.
without Haaland. Remember, this is what I mean. I think people forget this isn't Haaland. They've seen just come out of
No,
nowhere.
no,
City
no,
been doing
they're
this for
not.
years without
But
Haaland. Didn't even play
let's
with a striker. They played with the
yeah,
front three that could swap around.
right. And who was playing? He didn't play all the games. He was there in City's team when Haaland wasn't there. It's Jesus was playing as well. That's what I
Aguero,
mean.
Aguero.
Yeah, but Jesus has been an important player. I'm not saying he's been their main player, and the same with
Come on,
Sterling.
man.
But I think it's a massive disrespect to put Cole Palmer and Jesus at the same table. They're not. Cole Palmer's not at that
Nah,
table
I'm
for
not
me.
saying he is, but he could easily get into the team, though. When I say walk into the team, I'm
Who's,
not saying playing week in, week out, you know. I'm not talking about he takes the spot off Jesus, but he gets in the team. He's gonna get
I
he's not
think
gonna be
he
sitting on the
plays.
bench. He's not gonna be
I
sitting on the
think
bench
he.
playing cup
I
games.
think he has no more. Yeah, he has no more than 15 starts in the season. Given that most of their top players will play probably 25, so he's
I don't
not.
believe that.
He's not. No, but personally, I just think for 3 months of evidence, and I know you've seen him in the youth teams. That's fair, and he has played games last season. But the way that they're talking about him is like you can say that about Foden now, but it's like
Yeah, but I think you're talking about people putting him on like a Bellingham pedestal. I'm not talking about that because he's not anywhere near that conversation or a conversation of being one of the best in the country or nothing like that. What I'm saying is he clearly has the ability to be that person, and I think he can get into a lot of people's teams. I don't think that's a
I think he's got good potential, and I think because of the situation at United, he's clearly better than Anthony and Garnacho. He's
yeah.
better than. I don't know if he's got a higher ceiling than Garnacho, but he's better than. But for me, it's like he doesn't walk into the Arsenal team. For me, he doesn't walk into the Liverpool. He
Nah,
definitely doesn't walk into that
that's why I
Liverpool
left
team.
Liverpool out of it though
Man
because
City, yeah,
I don't think he gets into their team.
Man City doesn't, and then you're looking at the other teams. Yeah, like
He would
he
get into City's team
probably
though. Let's. Me personally,
I don't think he. I
you
don't
so
think he.
you would pick Jack Grealish over Cole Palmer.
Who else plays? I'm trying to remember who else. Oh, Doku.
Yeah,
This is what I mean. He doesn't
but obviously we're talking about at
at
that
the
point.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
who would you have picked out of Grealish and Palmer? Because
I'd probably.
Jack Grealish is dog shit. I can't believe he's at Man City and he was getting game time and all that.
I think that's unfair. I say that because I'm biased. I don't like him really as a person, but I can't deny that last season he was pretty good for them. And even in the first season, he had spells, but he was okay. This season, he's not got into the team. But even who did they draw to on a weekend?
Who, City?
Yeah, is it Spurs? He came on. He
Yeah,
did well
Spurs.
against Spurs. Yeah, yeah. He came on, and he probably should have won the game for them. Do you know? And they played better against. So I think that's unfair. I'm not saying Cole Palmer's not a good player. I think he's played well and he's in form. But I can't have he walks into teams because he's not played a full season. We've not seen him in the second season. So I think for Chelsea he's done well. But then I question whether if you've got better players for Chelsea, is he starting that many games anyway?
Well, put it like this: if he wasn't in the team, there'd be a lot less points on the board for Chelsea. So
Yeah, he
that
would.
kind of might
He
prove your
would.
point, but at the same time as well, I can't have this talk that he's not of that level to be in the Premier League, or he's not. He can't. He could go and get. Do you know what I mean he's come from one of the best academies in the country? You know,
He has, but for me, he's like a top six, top eight player, not a top. He's not a
yeah, but
top
no one's
like
saying
three
that. I
player.
don't. I don't. I think your
No,
mindset is on the Bellingham thing.
that's
To me,
no,
that's just
not not
nuts.
not Bellingham, but I just think I'm just talking about the hype. I think the hype is a bit too much, and even when I watch him
But
play,
it's not too much though. Who knows hyping him up? This is what I'm trying. Who's hyping him up?
you just said he walks
Yeah,
into Man
because
City's
I
team.
watch him every week, so I can
Yeah,
hype him
but
up. But you're
is it?
telling me from a perspective of you probably how many times you watch him play for Chelsea?
I've seen him this season. I reckon I've seen him play 8 or 9 times. I think that's
Which
enough
games?
to make a judgment. So we can
The
go
full
the
games as well,
Spurs
not
game.
highlights.
Let's go the Spurs
Full game.
game, the
You watch the
City,
full
the
game.
City game, the United game.
Full
He
game.
played. He played. Huh?
You watching the full match or you watching highlights?
I'd say not highlights, but I've watched probably about 80% of the game. There's probably been little bits I've missed, but I've watched enough of the game. Come on, and you know me anyway. Like, I can make a judgment. I've called on loads of players way before, way before. Um, I've watched them. The only games I probably haven't really watched them are your 3 o'clock kickoffs. Most of those I've either not been around, I ain't seen. But you've been mostly on. You've been on Sky most of your games,
Yeah, it's true.
or BT. So I've seen most of them. But just for me, he's good. I think Sterling's been your best player, if I'm honest with you, this season. But Cole Palmer is a very close second for me. Other people might have it the other way around. But I'm hearing this talk of he should be starting for England, and it's like not you. But for me, it's like why? Like Sterling's been in better form than him, so I don't get it. But I need to watch him for longer. 8 or 9 games isn't fair enough to judge him. But I can't also say that he's. I think he's just a good player with lots of potential.
But I think that's what
And
I'm
he
trying
scored
to
a lot.
say.
He scored a lot of penalties.
But I think that's what I'm trying to say. He's a good player with a lot of potential.
Yeah, and he scored penalties. But
But
you
you say
know,
that like it's a criticism to him. Like he's scoring penalties. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
because people say he scored goals. It's like yeah, he scored penalties, and that's
Yeah, but
fine.
you
And in
still have to score
games,
the penalty, you know. Like I know it's 50-50, it's easy, but you still have to. I never get that when people say that. When it comes to records, yeah, I agree with that because when people talk about Andy Cole, remember Andy Cole's goals, all of them were outfield. I don't think he took penalties, did he? I don't think. So
yeah,
I
100%.
get that when you talk about penalties and whatever else. But when people say, "Oh, but he scores penalties," well, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to just do a gamble? Do you want him to do a cartwheel before he takes the penalty? Like
No.
he's
But I just
taking
mean
the
in terms of the
penalty.
goal, and it's the same with Bruno Fernandes. He scores penalties. He scored a couple of free kicks, but
Yeah,
he's
but when you
he's
score
not a
them,
great player.
did you celebrate them?
I mean, they're
Nah,
meaningless
see what I
goals.
mean?
No. A lot of them are meaningless goals in draws or
All
defeats.
right. Well, if you were
It doesn't.
winning, if you scored a penalty in the Champions League final, you're gonna celebrate or
Yeah, he
not?
scored. He scored one against Brighton in the 98th minute when the play got called back. But it was like, yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah,
If he
okay.
scored one in the Champions League final, are you gonna celebrate?
But that's never ever. He's never going to play in the Champions League
Hypothetical
final.
question: if he's
No,
you're not gonna celebrate the penalty, you're
no, but
lying.
he's not
You're
scoring.
lying.
That's just,
You're a liar.
if Mr. Blobby scores for Chelsea in the Champions League final, you're going to celebrate hypothetically.
Yeah, you're mad.
Yeah, then it's an irrelevant question. It
Nah, it's
doesn't
not
like.
though. Do you know why? Because you're telling me that penalties are just penalties, but I'm saying penalties still count. Because if you're 1-1 and you get a penalty and you make it 2-1, you're still going to celebrate the penalty. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So
but what I'm
it
saying
doesn't
is
matter
that
who's
it's
taking
not a
it.
penalty. A penalty is not a reflection on your overall ability for the
No
game.
one's
And
saying
what I'm
that
saying,
though. Now
but
you're
what I'm
putting
saying
words
about
in my mouth.
no, but what I'm saying is I brought up the penalty issue. So what I'm saying is I'm not really basing his overall ability on the amount of goals he scored because a lot of them are penalties. So I'm looking at his
But
overall
no
play and I'm
one's
thinking
basing it on that. I didn't even bring up penalties. So
they said he scored a lot of goals. Not you, but
yeah,
people have
but
said he scored a lot of goals.
don't listen to them. All I'm saying is the boy has, whatever you want to call him, boy has a lot of quality to be a good player. That's it. That's how I started it. And then I said, I think he would get into a lot of people's teams, whether that's now or in 5 years. I think he's got the potential to do that.
Yeah, and I said I think he's a better for 3 months. Like I don't think that's. You know what I'm like? You got to do something for 2 years if I'm looking at you thinking, yeah. And there's only certain players I've looked at them and thought, oh, this guy is something special. Like Haaland, I saw him play 3 times. I was like, yeah, you can tell he was going to be on smoke. And the same with Bellingham. There's a couple man that's been like that. You watch them, you thought, yeah, these guys. Aguero's another one. Obviously, we've got the obvious ones like Messi. Not so much Ronaldo, to be fair, but from my perspective. But yeah, there's a lot of men. You see them play twice, you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Like,
but you're
these
naming.
guys
You see what you've just done there? You've named a lot of world-class players.
I can name some other players if you like. I don't mind.
What I'm saying is, I don't think he's going to be that level. So your benchmark of what you're basing him, comparing him to, for me, is unrealistic because I don't think he's ever going to hit that height. All I'm trying to say is the man has a lot of talent. Whether he scores penalties or not, I don't give a shit. I'm talking about his overall play. Is how he credit. What game was it the other day? The United game he played. He had a bad game.
Oh yeah, but it happens.
It happens. But from what I watch of him, week in, week out, 1 game a week, Chelsea and all that, he's a good player. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. I think he's a good player.
That's what I said. I think he's good, but he's overhyped.
So we agreed in the end. Is that what we said?
But I kicked off and I said I agree. I just think there's a bit too much hype around him.
You said there's too much hype, and I don't get. Maybe because I don't read the news, so maybe I don't see all that.
I'm just saying I don't get the hype. I can say that.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, but I didn't say you're hyping him. I just said I don't get the hype. And I was trying to understand.
I don't see the hype because to me, I couldn't hype up any of those Chelsea players right now.
So you're agreeing with me? You don't see
I said that anyway. I tried to say that from the start. I can't agree that the Ross Clark thing is that I started with saying none of these men are good enough. Listen,
Cole Palmer can prove me wrong. He's got because I know obviously he's declared for England, but what's the other country he can play for?
Isn't it St. Kitts?
He's mixed heritage. He should go and expand and represent for granddad.
Nah, man, leave him where he is, man. But yeah, anyone that listen, if you know me, just go and listen to the other pod, the football one, the Chelsea one. I had to have a rant on there yesterday, man. So you already know how I feel about these Chelsea players. But for me, Cole Palmer, the only standout player at the team at the moment that's showing a bit of quality out of all that 1 billion. So
I think Sterling and Fernandes have done well this season.
Fernandes, because 100. You watch these games properly, or are you watching them with your eyes closed? Fernandes.
I think he's in one of your better players. Not the best, but
no. We're
stopping. I don't think so. Maybe I'm biased. I like him. When I see him play, I'd have him at United all day, every day.
You wouldn't. Not while he's playing how he's playing now. You wouldn't. You wouldn't even swap him for Fernandes. You wouldn't even swap him for McTominay right now.
You need to behave yourself. No,
I'm being generally serious. You know, like
I don't think you watch Fernandes in that Chelsea game.
I watched Fernandes. And I see what he was doing in that one, and I watched him against Newcastle.
Which Fernandes are we talking about? I just realised.
Enzo Fernandes.
Enzo. I don't think you watched Bruno.
Nah, I did, man. He was just as bad. But what I'm saying is you wouldn't swap him. You're gonna swap shit for shit. Is what you're telling me. Trust me.
I don't think either of them are shit. But
they're
Enzo,
not consistently good.
Enzo, sorry, is a superior player to Fernandes.
Nah, I don't see
hands
it.
down. Like with my eyes closed.
I don't see it, man. I'm hoping I see it one day, but I don't see it right now with him. None of them players in that Chelsea squad are good enough. Managers not good enough. Owners aren't good enough. Players aren't good enough. Kitman's not good enough. Media team's not good enough.
Where's your expectation, and who'd be good enough for Chelsea?
In that, what to bring in?
Yeah, let's say apart from unrealistic players like Mbappe, but. Who is it? Who would be it from teams in the Prem? Like, for example,
nah, he's not.
Would you take like a Ollie? Would you bring in an Ollie Watkins?
No.
Who's good enough then? I'm trying to figure out.
I was screaming for Ivan Toney last year. I was.
Okay.
Now,
I've
changed my mind on that for 2 reasons. One, we wouldn't sign him because of his age, because we're looking at these young profiles. and two, you just don't know how he's going to come back after a lengthy ban. Can he
I
still?
can tell you, he's. I know what you mean, but he's gonna come back on smoke.
No,
I can tell you.
I know. This is why I've been screaming for him for 12 months. I know he's going to come back on madness, but we won't. He wants the Arsenal move, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins is always a mad one because I love watching him play. I don't think he's consistently good enough as well. So I think we'd be adding to that kind of pool of players that I'm talking about at Chelsea already that are not good enough already. Like, he's a good striker, don't get me wrong. He can finish.
He's good in the system that he's in, I think.
Yeah,
So I think he's with the right manager of the right players. Yeah.
And that is the crucial thing. Like, I'm not, when I say I criticize these players at Chelsea, I'm not saying all of them are shit. I'm not saying that. I just think the way that we're playing, the manager, the setup, everything just is not clicking. Nothing is right.
Yeah.
If you take Enzo and put him in Liverpool's team or Caicedo, totally different player. Totally different player. I'm telling you, even Mudryk. If
Totally different player, how? Like, they're good enough to play for them teams.
They'd just be better. They'd actually perform better in a team with a right manager who can get the best out of them. And sometimes that's all it is. It's not about the individual player themselves being shit. It's just the manager or the system or the style that the manager wants them to play just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Enzo came on this big thing, and now they're doing it with Nkunku, and Nkunku's going to come back and save the season. He might even flop as well. And then what? So realistically, I don't think it matters who you bring in. I think the club is rotten from top to bottom. The recruitment's been wrong. Brought in all these youngsters, loaned half of them out. We bought a bag of potential that might not even be it. Like, that's what I was saying about Palmer. I think he has the potential. We don't know. He might have hit his ceiling already. Do you get what I'm saying? So we don't know. I'm just saying at the moment I can see the trajectory of him going in the right direction.
Yeah, I hear you.
But all these other players, Madueke, Mudryk, Badiashile, Desazi, we don't know about them. We don't know if they're good enough. They don't look good enough. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like Chelsea are where United have been.
Oh, we're all in the same place. That
Do you know what
mediocrity, mid-table.
Even like the ownership now, though, I can see I can see where you man have been in this realm for so long.
I'm with you funny now, isn't it?
Nah, but I never thought it was funny. I'm with you now, though. I'm with you. We're together. We're brothers in pain right now. Do you know what I mean? So,
100%. But yeah, the ownership's clearly the issue, and it's not going to change. Like, there's loads of American ownership now in the Prem, so I think it's just going to continue like that, especially with the new deal. That's not going to detract them. So
true.
Yeah.
True, man. But yeah, man. Let's wrap up there. As always, make sure you go to the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Episode 12, man. Always a pleasure. We've got the special coming up soon. Obviously, Christmas approach. We have to make sure the quiz is good for that one as well.
It's going to have to live up to the hype.
Nah, nothing could beat that. Nothing could beat that episode, man. The hidden episode. I'm sorry. That hidden episode is classic gem. One day, when we're retired, we're going to release the full audio of that and the unedited version of that, man, when we're all retired and we can't be held accountable for our work. We can't get sacked from jobs. But thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week, man. Appreciate everyone listening and following and everything so far, man. Thank you.